Alright, so I'm going to walk through some of these sketches, some of my drawings here, and talk about what tools I'm using to give you a better idea of when and how to use these things as you've learned. So here we have a sketch of a head, and as I've mentioned, angles are really a great way to approach drawing heads and faces and whenever you're capturing likeness. So if you'll see, I start out with these angles to establish the roadmap, the structure, and from there just refine my angles, as you see, with subtler angles to define the shapes of the face. Whoops. So from there I then applied some contour line, like on the ear and the rounded part for his head, maybe a little bit down here, and just to really get the overall look and feel of this shape. So we have angles and contour, the primary tools for this first drawing. So let's go to the second. Alright, so here we have two sketches, and these are exploration. They're just ideas, exploring poses for my character here. And what you'll see I'm using is gesture, which includes the line of action right here, and right here is a little messier to see, but there is a line of action there. And then I'm coming in with shapes, with circles, and with this circle here, with the broader shape, just kind of covering the whole area of his body, but there is another circle inside here, circle up here, and then I am flowing through these with gesture lines, and for the arms, and even just line for the legs. So the rhythms, or the gesture lines of the rhythms, are a little less clear, but they are integrated. So these two, in summary, are using the gesture tools that we learned: line of action, rhythms, and shapes. Now you'll see I take this and just clean it up, removing all those extra lines. I just took a piece of tracing paper, drew over top of it, and really just focusing on the shapes and the angles and the contour of everything, and then color it in and get a final piece here. Alright, so let's look at another sketch. This is another way, or another idea pose here, where I'm exploring, and I'm using the same tools: line of action, I'm using shapes here, and gesture very slightly with the arms and the legs kind of flowing from thing to thing. Not as clear, but again, this is a gesture drawing using those three tools, and from that I went to this. Alright, so moving to this next drawing, we get to see really why angles are so important and so helpful for more realistic type of drawings, and in this case a portrait of Morgan Freeman. So this is my angled drawing structure that I did first, and what I'm doing is just looking for all the angles. I started broad, and then I got real subtle, as you see every little thing here, and I'm also blocking out the shadows and those different shapes. That's what you see all over the face. Don't worry about that at this point. That gets a little bit more advanced when we're thinking about form and tone, but really I'm showing you this so you can see how angles can be used to draw things really realistically. So you see the finished piece, all the way refined. I took those angles and I used contour, and then, which we didn't talk about or learn at this stage, I added value and tone. Now this is a drawing, not mine. This is Walt Stanchfield. He has since passed away, but he was a Disney employee. He taught at Disney, actually, gesture drawings. And I wanted to show you these because what you're seeing here is a combination of broad shapes. See how this is one shape pretty much with just the head, This is basically one shape with the head, but with the arms and the legs here also included. But these are all gesture drawings where he is using shapes and somewhat the line of action throughout here, and he's exploring ideas, and this is something animators do when they are trying to come up with their poses for their scenes. So you can just see the importance of gesture for action and for movement, so when you're drawing those types of things. And again, here is a animators, or someone in the animation industry, Toby Shelton from DreamWorks. This is from Kung Fu Panda, from sketches, ideas for the main character Po, and you can see really clearly how he's using shapes. This circle, basically 2-3 circle, head circle, circle here, and circle here, and even the legs are these oval shaped, and the arms these oval shapes. So he's just putting shapes together and moving them around and creating these really interesting poses. So thanks again for joining me and for all your hard work. And before you go, I just want to give you 3 things that you can do to continue to improve. 1, continue to practice these tools separately on their own, doing each of them and just getting better and better with them. All that will do is get it more into your subconscious. That way it will flow from you when you draw freely. The second thing is to practice drawing them together. Try it with a step-by-step approach, but also just integrate them where you're not really concerned about the step-by-step, but letting them flow out of you as you need them and as it makes sense. And the final thing, this is huge, go on sketch adventures. Sketch adventures are when you go out anywhere with a sketchbook in hand and pencil, and you draw people, you draw buildings, you draw animals. Now you can use the tools and practice the tools if you want, but what's most important is that you're having fun and that you're exploring and that you're beginning to take in what you see, and you're filling your mind, your imagination with what's around you, with the world, with what you see, and this then becomes your foundation for ideas, your foundation for all of your drawing skills, and it'll get better and better just by going out and doing it. You will integrate those tools almost without even thinking, by just going out and sketching and drawing. So, go on sketch adventures.